Hello, this is Mick Foley, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
What's going on, y'all? This is WWE superstar Kofi Kingston, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
This is Rob Van Dam. You're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Aw, yeah. Welcome to Wrestling Uncensored. I am Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website here. Every Saturday night talking professional wrestling with you. Wrestling Uncensored on YouTube. Check us out, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET. We are on every Friday afternoon around 12:30. Dave and Johnny live. Johnny North and I talked, what did we talk about on Dave and Johnny Live this week, Johnny?
We talked about the Expos a little bit.
We talked about the Expos and how much I missed them. Johnny North gave me a beautiful gift, an Expos gift, which you can see on our YouTube channel at Dave and Johnny Live.
We talked politics.
We talked Quebec politics and Canada politics as well. It was kind of a mishmash of things, and that's what we do on Dave and Johnny Live. We give you extra stuff. Sometimes we talk pro wrestling, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't.
But there's always 90 Day Fiancé, of course.
We always talk about 90 Day Fiancé because it is our favorite show. I enjoy 90 Day Fiancé way more than I enjoy Monday Night Raw.
I wouldn't agree with this week because I thought
really?
Raw was all right this week. You had Stephanie and Triple H back this week.
Yeah, but on 90 Day Fiancé, I have Darcy and Jesse. I prefer Darcy and Jesse to Stephanie and Triple H. Ooh, that's a WrestleMania match waiting to happen. Darcy and Jesse versus Stephanie and Trips. That would be massive.
Well, Triple H would destroy Jesse, but Darcy versus Stephanie?
That's a good matchup.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Johnny's into it. So if you want to know more about Darcy and Jesse, you can watch Dave and Johnny Live exclusively on our YouTube channel. All the info for our YouTube channel on our official website, ringsidereport.net. On the, of course, the Ringside Report podcast network. We have so much going on. Dave and Johnny Live. We have post shows. We're getting ready for our big UFC Conor McGregor post show. As soon as McGregor is done fighting next weekend, we'll be there live on YouTube. Of course, Ringside Report Radio, where we talk MMA on Friday nights. That's on our YouTube channel. That's part of the Ringside Report podcast network. And as well, the monthly show about New Japan Pro Wrestling, What's Phantom in Japan? New Japan has a big show in Long Beach, California tomorrow night. Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Going down tomorrow night. And the Green Phantom, Montreal wrestling legend, the Green Phantom, and I talking New Japan Pro Wrestling and indie wrestling on What's Phantom in Japan. It is a monthly podcast available on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you get everything that we do. Latest episode of What's Phantom in Japan not only has Green Phantom and I talking about Japanese wrestling, but also talking about Johnny North and an upcoming match that will happen down the road. Johnny North versus the Green Phantom.
Yeah, it'll be an honor to wrestle him, actually. And another honor to pin him again, 1, 2, 3, like I did the last time I wrestled him.
And it will be an honor for me to count that 1, 2, 3 as a special guest referee. Johnny North, we have no special guest referee here. Just a normal Super Showdown coming up next week. Just your run-of-the-mill Super Showdown. You know, it's, I guess, the first of its kind. Going down in Australia, supposed to be about 60,000 people. What is the big match on this card? What is the match that you think is most important here? Is it Triple H versus The Undertaker? I mean, that is a big match, and of course that's the one they've been pushing the most. But I don't know how much it really matters as far as the grand scheme of the WWE. Is the big match The Shield, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins taking on the Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre team? That's been taking up a good chunk of Monday Night Raw. Is it the WWE title match, no countouts, no DQ. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, a lot on the line in that one. Or is it the one that I think is the most important match on this card? Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, one-on-one, where the winner becomes the number one contender for the WWE Championship. I think it's those four matches really making this card, really selling this card. That's what they're pushing for this show. But for me, Daniel Bryan and The Miz, because this is the third match in their feud, 3 straight big shows from the WWE. Miz has won both encounters. This is the match where something's on the line. The winner of this match will get a WWE title shot. This, to me, is the main selling point to this card. And looking at SmackDown this week, I thought Daniel Bryan did a really good job as far as his promo. Didn't see Daniel Bryan wrestle this week, which I think is good. You got to give the guy some time off every now and then, right? Miz wound up wrestling R-Truth and beating him. I thought the whole promo segment was solid. It kicked off SmackDown. It's a big selling point to the show. I'm not sure where it's going to go. I'm excited for the match. I'm excited for the result. This, to me, is the match for Super Showdown. Is it for you?
It's a big match. I don't think it's the biggest match on the show. I don't think it's going to have the biggest impact because there's so many titles now. Like, title matches don't mean that much anymore, unfortunately. And I just don't see Daniel Bryan winning this match, so I'm not really that looking forward to it because it's probably going to be The Miz versus AJ Styles, and I don't want to see that match. But we're going to get it.
Is that what's happening?
I think so.
It would make a lot of sense, right? Because I don't know if any of us believe AJ Styles is going to lose the WWE Championship to Samoa Joe. So you might be right, Johnny North. You might be right.
Well, and they're playing this whole story now where, if Daniel Bryan can beat The Miz, he's going to have to cheat. So we're going to see Daniel Bryan. He's going to have a moment where it's going to seem like, he could win, but he's going to have to break the rules or something, but he's not going to do that.
Right. That's what The Miz was pushing. He says, Daniel Bryan, the reason why I've beat you is because I'm willing to do anything to win. I'm willing to cheat to win, but you're on your high horse and you're not willing to do whatever it takes because if you cheat, the fans will turn their back on you, which is not true. People loved when Eddie Guerrero would cheat in matches. Daniel Bryan could cheat to beat The Miz, and they'd still cheer for Daniel Bryan, right?
It's not like Daniel Bryan's never cheered before to win a match ever.
Yeah. It's a weird story that The Miz is trying to, or WWE is trying to, play there with The Miz and Daniel Bryan, as far as like, Bryan can't cheat. If he cheats, he's got this moral dilemma, he's got to win fair and square. Whatever. But I think you might be right. I think The Miz might win again. But do they really have Miz cheat to win again, and then that's just it? Like, that is not what I want to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Daniel Bryan cheat to win, but getting caught, getting disqualified. I don't want to see Miz win clean. I don't think that's a good outcome, and it doesn't really make sense. They haven't built Miz in a way where he's strong enough to be able to beat Daniel Bryan. I think it would lack continuity if they did that, right? Because Miz just isn't that guy to be able to beat Bryan 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring without cheating. That's the story they're playing out here, where Bryan is better than Miz, and the only way Miz can win is by cheating, and that's how he won the first match between them. The last match, it was a mixed tag, and it was really Bryan's wife that took the pinfall. Maurice didn't cheat to win to beat Brie Bella in that match. But it's Miz who can't beat Bryan cleanly. And I could see Bryan cheating, but having it cost him the match. That, I think, is a possible scenario. And and one that I would be fine with as far as, well, Miz wins, Miz gets the WWE title shot, but he didn't beat Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan got himself disqualified.
And if you're fine with that, okay, but I'm not fine with that. This is why I'm not looking forward to this, because it's just the Miz going on to face AJ Styles in a match I really don't want to see, yet it seems like we're going that direction. This is why Triple H and The Undertaker, in my opinion, that's the match I care about, because the ramifications of that match are going to lead on to bigger things, better things too.
Well, we talked about it at length on the show last week. We both believe that this match is really setting up the match in November at the Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. That'll be Triple H and Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker and Kane in a tag match. That's what we both expect is going to happen, and that's what we both expect is being set up here in this Triple H Undertaker match, where Undertaker will have Kane in his corner and Shawn Michaels will be in the corner of Triple H.
And last week I said Shawn versus Taker at WrestleMania, but now they're saying Shawn versus Taker Survivor Series. And I could definitely see that. I know you said, oh, don't tarnish what they did at WrestleMania. This way you don't do that and you still get the match.
Are they really going to do Shawn versus Taker one-on-one again? They're really thinking about doing that? Shawn Michaels is coming out of retirement for a series of matches here?
I think Shawn might be back.
Why is this happening? Well, yeah, right. There's no way he's back.
Well, on a part-time basis, I think he might be. I think you might see Shawn wrestle every now and then. Why not? If they're going to pay him millions of dollars to come back and wrestle, why not?
I don't know. Who knows what kind of shape he's in right now? Who knows what he can do? He's one of the greatest of all time. I mean, if you told me Bret Hart's in shape and he's ready to go and he wants to come back on a part-time basis, I'd be like, yeah, go ahead, sure. But, I mean, that's not going to happen. If you told me Stone Cold Steve Austin was in shape, ready to go, I'd say, yeah, all right, let's go. Sure. Why not? So you're telling me Shawn Michaels is willing to come back and wrestle a few guys here and there? I'm not really opposed to that, but I wonder, like, how far they go with that. Like, okay, maybe he wrestles a tag match here in Saudi Arabia with Undertaker. Maybe he even wrestles Undertaker one-on-one at Survivor Series. Maybe. But then what? Then does Shawn wind up wrestling Daniel Bryan? Does Shawn wind up wrestling AJ Styles? Do those matches actually happen? Like, how far are they really going to go with the whole Shawn Michaels thing? It's interesting. How far can they go with it? How far can Shawn's body take this whole thing? I mean, he's 50-something years old, right? There's a limit. And should the WWE really be promoting guys that are 50-something years old as the top of their card? This whole Super Showdown has been built around Triple H and The Undertaker. This entire card has been built around two guys that are, once again, part-time wrestlers. Is this good for the WWE? You thought you were over this thing when Brock Lesnar went away with the show being built around part-time guys. Now here come Triple H and Undertaker to what? Carry the slack? Because the everyday guys can't cut the mustard? What's the message here? Roman Reigns is your main guy. He's your top guy. He's supposed to carry the show. He's in a throwaway match. Let's be honest here. This six-man tag, the Shield versus the Braun guys. I mean, can we come up with a name for them, by the way?
I think they're called the Dogs of War.
The Dogs of War? No, they're not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Braun called them the Dogs of War.
So the Hounds of Justice against the Dogs of War.
Yeah, that's kind of how you phrased it exactly, almost.
The next group is going to be called the Canines of Corruption, Dogs of War, Hounds of Justice, Puppies of Passion.
That was Corbin and
what?
The Authors of Pain this week, no? Because they're a team now. The Corbin, Authors of Pain, they were in the main event against the Shield.
They're the Puppies of Passion?
Yeah, sure. Man, the Authors of Pain looked like garbage in that main event. They got totally exposed. They were monsters, and then against the Shield, they looked like crap.
sacrificing another promising act to the Shield just to build them for one night of Raw. Not good. Not good. The whole Roman Reigns, like, it's so bad, I don't even want to get into it because it upsets me. Like, Raw is terrible. I cannot stand watching Monday Night Raw anymore. It is just awful. The Shield against the guys there, the Braun Strowman, the Dolph Ziggler, and the Drew McIntyre. Like, come on. And then Baron Corbin's talking all this time. The promo there, Shield comes out. They start talking. Dolph Ziggler and Braun Strowman and McIntyre come out. Ziggler's like, hey, Ambrose used to be really awesome, but you're the only one in the ring without a title, and Roman and Seth don't appreciate you. You should join us, because me and Drew, we got the tag team titles, and Braun's going to get the Universal title, and if you join us, we'll make sure that you get Seth's Intercontinental title, and everything will be cool. And then they play that whole thing, the whole show. They do all these backstage little things like, hey, Dean Ambrose, why don't you join us? Those guys don't like you. Remember when Seth turned his back on you? I think you should turn your back on them and join us and leave the Shield. And then, of course, you have the match at the end. It's Baron Corbin has it was billed as mystery partners. Who's going to be Baron Corbin's tag team partners? And it was the Authors of Pain, who've been built up pretty strong, beaten some teams over the past few weeks. They come in, and they take on the Shield with Baron Corbin. Of course, they lose the match. Roman, though, hitting the spear on Corbin for the pinfall. So Corbin, at least, was the one who took the fall, not the Authors of Pain. And then Braun Strowman and Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, they were ringside watching the match, and that's all they really did was watch. And it looked like Ambrose was thinking the whole show, like, oh, maybe I should join these guys. Maybe I should leave the Shield. And then at the end, he's there, and he decides, no, I'm staying with my friends. The Shield. Turner, 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 Turner. And I'm like, yawn. Like, come on, man. This is not good. This is not good television. You knew where it was going. Not for a second did I think Dean Ambrose was going to leave the Shield, because he has a match at the Super Showdown they're already promoting where he's with the Shield against Braun Strowman and the Dogs of War or whatever, the Drew and the Dolph Ziggler. The Braun, the Drew, and the Ziggler. Braun's crew. Braun and friends.
They also try to turn Drew against them, right?
Yeah, Seth tried to turn Drew against his guys. Because he's like, Dolph Ziggler's just using you to stay relevant, and Braun Strowman's just using you to help him get the Universal title. Whatever. Drew was like, you see that? That means... Shut up. I hate it so much. None of them are interesting to me. Braun Strowman used to be more interesting. Then he joined up with this crew of jabronis, and I'm like, oh, man, this is bad. This is, like, all-time bad. And, like, why don't they all just join together? Why isn't just one group? Like, if Braun and Dolph and Drew hate the Shield, and the Authors of Pain and Baron Corbin also hate the Shield, why don't they just make it a 6-man group? Why aren't they all together in one unit? Why are they separate groups? Is it because the WWE can't figure out how to do a faction with more than 3 people? That's what it seems like to me. What are they doing? It's just dumb. It's dumb. It's boring. The matches are bad. The promos are bad. Everything is bad. There's not one redeeming thing about any of these guys. It's awful. It's terrible television, and the ratings are plummeting.
But he stated, Corbin, early in the show, that Ziggler and McIntyre already had the title match against the Revival, so that's why they couldn't be the partners. So he needed another team. That's why it was the Authors of Pain.
Sure.
So it made sense.
Okay. Why aren't they one group? Why don't they have a name? Dogs of War? Really? Is that really their name? Is that official?
For Braun Strowman's team, yeah.
It's terrible.
No, I thought Raw was really eventful, actually.
What?
Come on, you had that happen.
What happened? What happened?
The Brie Bella incident.
No, stop. Brie Bella will talk about... No. Nothing happened with the Shield.
There was so much talk about
Dean Ambrose started with the Shield and ended the show with the Shield. Nothing happened. Nothing progressed. Nothing happened.
But there was so much talk.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk. A lot of talk by a lot of guys I don't want to see talk ever. Like Baron Corbin. I've had enough of Baron Corbin.
Well, Stephanie kind of alluded to the fact that maybe Kurt Angle's coming back if Baron Corbin can't get the job done, and he didn't get the job done this week.
Right.
So maybe Kurt's coming back.
Can he go away already? Are we done with this yet?
To be honest, this is the best use of Baron Corbin, I think, ever in WWE. Like, he's more important now than ever before. Before, he'd just come out and really be boring in his matches. Now he's actually a character.
Now he comes out and he's really boring with his promos.
No, but he's actually carrying the story.
He's just playing the GM role. He's so boring. He's incredibly boring. I don't want to watch any of these guys. You can't tell me you do.
I was interested to see what the Authors of Pain could do in that main event spot. Unfortunately, they didn't deliver. It's unfortunate, but they love the Shield a lot, so they protected them, and that's what happens.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted to see it.
Kevin Owens is good.
I thought that was great, no?
Elias in the ring there. Kevin Owens shows up. It's the Kevin Owens show. Kevin Owens cuts a promo talking about his tag team match. And then Lio Rush comes out. Says he's not going to go to the ring. Bobby Lashley shows up. Got a huge pop from his hometown in Denver there. And then Lashley beat Elias by disqualification when Kevin Owens accidentally ran into Lashley when he was chasing Lio Rush ringside.
So it was the opposite of last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're all setting up the big tag team match, Bobby Lashley and John Cena versus Kevin Owens and Elias. And as much hype as there has been for Triple H and Undertaker, there has been so little hype. The opposite for John Cena. We haven't seen him since what? Mania?
That's right. Actually, no, wait. I want to see the Greatest Rumble against Triple H.
Right, okay. So when was that? April?
It was at the end of April.
End of April. We haven't seen John Cena for quite some time. He's returning next week at the Super Showdown. And no one's really talking about it. This is John Cena we're talking about. This is the guy. Is he going to be on Raw Monday? I haven't heard anything. I guess he's not going to be there. He's only going to be in Australia.
Well, the important guys, The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, they're going to be there on Raw.
John Cena's the important guy, though, too. I mean,
John Cena's
of course,
the past.
Whoa. Hold on a second. John Cena's the past, and Undertaker's what exactly?
He's the current right now.
What?
He's the main event.
What? John, what are you talking about? John Cena's the past, and Undertaker and Triple H, they're the present. When they were wrestling decades before. Like, John Cena grew up watching The Undertaker. It's ridiculous.
It's funny when you think about it. Undertaker and Triple H have been wrestling longer than people watching WWE currently.
Are you not surprised that the John Cena return has not been given more attention?
A little surprised, but I don't mind it.
I know you don't mind it, but it's not on brand for the WWE to not be pushing the hell out of John Cena's return next week at Super Showdown. Any other time John Cena has been gone for a while and he's about to come back, it is made into a major deal. He's coming back next week in a throwaway tag team match with Bobby Lashley against Elias and Kevin Owens. And they're not saying anything about it. It's odd. And it is telling to me how the WWE currently feels about John Cena. They're over it.
Well, it makes me wonder, too, are they just limiting John Cena from Raw? because it's a Raw match, right? And now that you have Nikki Bella on Raw, and she broke up with John Cena, maybe you want to limit how many times they have to interact with each other.
I don't think that really plays into it.
Then what then? Then John Cena just doesn't matter anymore?
Yeah. I think he matters way less to them than he used to. Maybe he's giving them less of him. And they're not liking it.
Well, it just goes to show there's other people. They don't need John Cena.
Yeah, there's The Undertaker.
Exactly.
Sure, there's Triple H. There's Shawn Michaels. Bring him out of retirement.
I'm sure people...
Where's Ricky Steamboat? Can he come back?
People would care about Shawn, Ricky Steamboat, Undertaker a lot more than John Cena.
You're delusional.
No. I'm over John Cena.
You hate John Cena.
I'm not hate. I'm over John Cena. It's
done.
done.
You really don't like John Cena.
It's over. We've had it for so long.
You want to talk about your other favorites? The Bellas? I know you love the Bellas. You give the Bellas so much heat on this show. You disrespect the Bella Twins so much. It's frankly out of line, considering how big they are. You just don't understand that they're major stars and they're bigger than most of the roster. They're more important than 90% of the WWE's roster because of the people they bring into the WWE, the fan base that they have.
That's fine, but their matches are not exciting to watch. I'm not excited when I see the Bellas come out and wrestle. I don't think their matches are good.
I was pretty excited watching the Bella Twins match this week, Johnny North.
Yeah, for the wrong reasons you were excited for.
How awesome was that? I mean, awesome is, I get probably the wrong word. I was in awe. I was like, oh my God, what is happening here? So Brie Bella goes to give the yes kicks. It's the Riot Squad versus the Bella Twins and Natalya, right?
Yeah.
Brie Bella goes to give the yes kicks to to Liv Morgan.
Right.
Kicks her in the chest a couple times, and then boom, kicks her in the face a couple of times. And Liv goes down, hard, unconscious, limp. She went out. Brie knocked her out. She kicked her in the face and knocked her unconscious. And then Brie goes to pin her. Liv did she kick out? What was that?
Sort of,
like in a haze, you know?
Right.
And then Brie just kind of drags her unconscious body to the corner so one of her partners can tag in. And the match went off the rails even further from there. I mean, they were trading some stiff shots. It seemed like the Riot Squad not too happy with Brie Bella, hitting her pretty hard. There was a point there where Brie got shot like a... What do you call that? Not a monkey flip, but a...
Slingshot.
Slingshot. Is it a slingshot? Yeah?
In WCW, they call it a catapult.
Catapult, right.
But I like slingshot.
Slingshot. So she got slingshotted into the ropes, right? And it looked like she was supposed to take a forearm, and then she just delivered a forearm to Ruby Riott. It seemed like they were trying to pay Brie back for her... I mean, let's be honest here. They were... irresponsible shots that she gave to Liv Morgan. I mean, accidents happen and everything, but my goodness. She knocked her unconscious with kicks to the face. That doesn't happen every day in WWE. Come on, Brie Bella. So she punched The Miz real hard at the Hell in a Cell match. I don't know if you remember that, but she was like nailing him with some big shots, and he started bleeding. Like she punched him and cut him open.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. I like that. I thought that was cool. She did some dives on Raw where she landed on her own head. Didn't look so good. And now she knocks out Liv Morgan. Every time Brie Bella goes into the ring, man, you don't know what's going to happen.
I feel like this has been really blown out of proportion because it's Brie Bella. And her fame of that is actually hurting her, I think, even more.
You're defending Brie now.
Somewhat. Like, it's a terrible accident, terrible thing that happened, but it was an accident. I don't think she meant to knock her out, but you do have to realize this is a kind of a contact sport in a sense. You are going to get hit, and unfortunately sometimes accidents happen, and this is what happened. Well, how they handled the situation, not great. The referee needed to be more on the ball there.
Yeah.
I think. The ref really wasn't. So I actually blame more WWE on this. And the competitors, maybe they should have handled better too, but I don't think they're used to that kind of situation too. So,
well, look, Liv took a bump. after that. She kept wrestling.
Well, then she left, though.
She left, but she still was knocked unconscious, had a concussion,
Right.
and then came back in to do a spot where they did a triple suplex and she took a bump.
Right.
She didn't do anything else after the match. It was weird. Michael Cole was like, Liv Morgan has been helped to the back. As he's saying that, you see Liv Morgan huddled in the corner ringside. She was still ringside, even though Michael Cole was like, she's in the back, which was like, what?
It was weird.
It was very weird. They didn't take care of Liv Morgan the way they should have. She should not have been allowed to get back into the ring after she was knocked out, but she was allowed, and that's on the referee, that's on the doctors, that's on people backstage not recognizing how serious the issue was and sending word out, hey, get Liv out of the ring. Like, that's enough here. She's done. It was very, very poorly mishandled by many people involved. The wrestlers as well. And I'm not just putting blame on Brie Bella, but, you know, Brie, Liv's tag partners, Nikki and Natty, one of them should have said something like, whoa, 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 that's enough. Liv, stay out of this spot. Natty, to me, should be the one to step in. Because she's the senior wrestler. She's the most competent of the 6 wrestlers that were involved. I feel like Natty could have stepped in, but maybe it wasn't her spot to step in. You know, with the Bellas there, they're big stars as well. They matter, and you know, it would have been difficult. I don't know what Natty could have done, other than communicated with everybody else, like, we need to get Liv out of the ring. Her fellow wrestlers in that match did not help the situation, allowing her to continue and wrestle.
You also have to consider that this is live television as well, and it's hard to think on the spot like that too. And people pretty much just plan out their matches like A to Z now. So when something goes awry, it takes them a little bit longer than usual to comprehend that, hey, something's wrong here. And
but come on, like, at that point, you don't need Liv for the triple suplex spot. Just do the double suplex and leave it.
But did she decide to go in the ring herself and do it? Yeah, she did. So, I mean, what can you do in that sense where she decides, oh, I'm going to go ahead and do this?
Well, the ref and the doctor who's ringside should do something.
Right, but they didn't. And it's also on the wrestler, too, because she decided to go in the ring. She decided she was okay for that. Later on, she wasn't.
Yeah.
But...
And I don't know how she's doing. I mean, I doubt we see her in the ring for a little bit. She's going to have to take some time off and deal with that.
Well, now this for Super Showdown, what happens? Because you were scheduled for a 6-woman match.
Right, the Bellas and Ronda Rousey against the Riot Squad. I don't know how that's going to play out now.
Well, now you need a replacement. Clearly that's going to have to happen. If she got a concussion, they've stated she got a concussion. I highly doubt in a week's time that she's going to be okay to go to Australia.
Alexa Bliss.
But isn't she also injured as well?
Oh, yeah.
And, like, Sasha's injured? Like, there's a lot of injuries now, yeah. Sasha's out of the mixed match tournament.
Whatever. You could throw Mickie James or Alicia Fox in with the Riot Squad, and that'd be all right.
I suppose, yeah.
What else are you going to do?
I just think it looked really bad.
Put some pink in Mandy Rose's hair. Maybe people won't know the difference.
Well, they'll get a replacement, but it looked really bad, too. They lost clean, too. That was a handicap situation. They jobbed clean. They probably should have changed that as well, because that made them look really bad. The
Bellas and Natty losing to the Riot Squad. Natty getting hit with the Riot kick and taking the pinfall there. Yeah, it didn't make the team of the Bellas and Natty look very strong when they're losing to the Riot Squad, who's down a member because Brie knocked her unconscious.
They should have just...
Also, shouldn't the Bella Twins and Natty just have won by knockout?
Well, they should have canceled the match or something. Or
end the match there. Like, Bellas win by knockout. It's over.
Or just end it in a brawl, and that's it. They just fight their way to the back. Like, they should have done... Obviously, again, live TV, it hurts it. Like, when Paige got injured, the match just stopped. Everything stopped because it wasn't live TV, but they can't do that on live TV.
Well, it's like when Daniel Bryan had that match with Randy Orton, and he did his drop kick off the top, and he had a stinger, and you could tell he wasn't all right. They just stopped the match. It was live TV. That was live Raw. They stopped the match.
He was very upset about that.
Yeah, he was upset about it, but I think he knows now that it was the right decision.
It was the right decision, but it's not easy to make those calls too.
Well, it was a weird spot there on Monday Night Raw, and I tweeted about it, and my tweet was quoted in Forbes. Did you notice that?
I saw that you tweeted about that.
On Forbes.com, where our buddy Rob, Gimme 5Bs on Twitter sent that to me, and they quoted me in Forbes, Johnny North. How do you like that?
Well, you're kind of like a spokesperson for WWE Twitter now, it seems.
What do you mean?
Like when fans tweet about WWE, you're one of the tweets they look towards now, it looks like. That's good and bad because Saudi Arabia doesn't like you still, but Forbes likes you at least. That's good. They look towards you.
I'm not worried about Saudi Arabia.
Not yet.
I'm worried about Russia, not Saudi Arabia.
We'll be back there soon.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I didn't like on Raw? Connor beating Chad Gable. What's that about? Why does Connor from the Ascension ever win a singles match, especially against former Olympian Chad Gable? What?
But it made sense because they already won the tag match. I think Chad won against Victor as well. So it gave the Ascension something where it's like there's a bit of fight in them. Now probably Bobby Roode will wrestle Victor, win, but will he beat Connor? It adds something considering they're not doing anything else.
Yeah, they're really not. I just don't like to see Chad Gable lose to a member of the Ascension.
Man, Gable's lost to most people on the roster anyway. So.
I know. He's so good. It's too bad, man.
Yeah, but they're building this.
Are they?
Yeah, they're building something. They're building a Bobby Roode heel turn, and eventually Gable will get something. Will it be a big payoff in the end is a big question, but you got to wait and see.
A lot of these guys were like, no, they're building it. No, Daniel Bryan, everything will turn out with Daniel Bryan. Oh, Kevin Owens will be on top again. Chad Gable, they're going to do something with Chad Gable. I used to think Cesaro would be a world champion one day. You play the waiting game for so long, and eventually you realize it's just not happening.
Well, when Vince buried Cesaro on Steve Austin's special thing, I think Cesaro was going to be the champion.
Well, yeah, after that, right? Big E this week tweeted about Kofi Kingston. Speaking of guys that should get their due and still not getting it, right? Big E says on Twitter, Kofi has the most days as a tag team champion in the history of WWE. Never failed a drug test. Never had a brush with the law. Always a professional to the highest degree. Give this man his flowers while he can still smell them.
Likes flowers, not pancakes. Okay.
What he's saying is, what more does Kofi Kingston have to do?
Well, he's done everything when you think about it.
You know what he hasn't done?
Okay, WWE Championship is a different story. It's unfortunate, but it just hasn't worked out for him.
It should.
Well, you need to win Money in the Bank, I think, for Kofi to become WWE Champion.
I don't know about that. I don't know what's going to happen with the New Day, but I believe that the New Day should become WWE Champion. I think they all deserve it. And I like that tweet from Big E this week. They're very supportive of their guy Kofi. And I like that. It's a group, but they know their leader is Kofi.
It was cool that CM Punk acknowledged it too this week.
Did he?
Yeah, because Kofi thanked all his tag partners in the past, and CM Punk I think replied back to as well. I forget what exactly he wrote. I think he just thumbs up or something. But yeah, that's nice. Considering Punk doesn't care about wrestling whatsoever, it's kind of nice that he did that.
Well, Kofi was his buddy.
It's nice that it meant something.
They rode together.
That's true, yeah. In his van too, or
his bus.
Yeah.
Well, they rode together before the bus, and then Punk got a bus, and then Kofi's life improved drastically. I'm sure he misses those days. Now he's back in a van with or a car, with Big E and Woods. When Punk was around, he was traveling in style in a tour bus. Just him and Punk.
Different days.
Well, now he's in the New Day. Now his career is way bigger. It's funny, his career is way bigger. He's probably making more money, but his traveling lifestyle is not as luxurious. Kofi Kingston is an unbelievable talent. I want to talk about the New Day. They are doing something at the Super Showdown next week, and Big E wrestled. Pretty good match on SmackDown, but we've got to take a pause here on the radio side. It is Wrestling Uncensored. Stay with us.
Hey, this is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and you are listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is Antonio Cesaro, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored.
Hey, this is Trish Stratus, and you're listening to Wrestling Uncensored. People listening, satisfaction is guaranteed.
All right, welcome back. I'm Dave Simon. He is Johnny North. It's Wrestling Uncensored every Saturday night. Talking professional wrestling. WrestlingUncensored.net is our website. Check out our YouTube channel. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel. YouTube.com/ringsidereport.net with the .net spelled out, D-O-T-N-E-T. YouTube.com/ringsidereport.net. You can get every episode of Ringside Report Radio, Wrestling Uncensored, What's Phantom in Japan, and Dave and Johnny Live. Johnny North and I go live on our YouTube channel every Friday afternoon. And you can catch that exclusively on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net. I thought SmackDown was very good. As bad as Raw was this week, SmackDown was very good, and that's usually my experience with the WWE. Don't like Raw on Mondays, quite enjoy my SmackDown on Tuesdays.
Well, again, Raw was eventful. I mean, you may not have liked everything that happened, but things happen on Raw. SmackDown, I found you got bits and pieces this week. Like, Truth was starting something, and they killed it right away.
What do you mean?
Well, he started Truth TV, right?
Truth TV was fantastic. Ronald Truth hosting his own talk show with Carmella as his sidekick or whatever was very good. Carmella and Truth play very well off each other. This is a thing that just kind of happened randomly. Carmella's coming off her run as women's champion on SmackDown. She was a heel. Now she's dyed her hair. She's a babyface, and she's hanging with R-Truth, and they're doing a really good job.
But they've already killed Truth TV because Miz won his show back.
Right.
And they lost in the Mixed Match Challenge, too, to Miz and Asuka.
Oh, so is that it for their little pairing? I hope it's not, because they're really good together. It shows not only the versatility of R-Truth, but also Carmella. Like, Carmella, from going to a blonde heel to a brunette babyface in a couple of months and pulling it off very well. Like, she was a good heel. She's a good babyface. In the ring, yeah, maybe she's lacking a little bit. Maybe she's not the best wrestler. But character-wise, very solid, working on both sides of it as a heel and a babyface. I'm impressed with Carmella.
This feels like another Rusev Day all over again, where I don't think they thought R-Truth and Carmella would get that over, but it was something they could do in the meantime. But judging by the reactions on SmackDown this week, that Truth TV segment was super over, and they really should have kept going with this, but that wasn't their plan.
It's too bad.
It's really too bad because they really have to invest in R-Truth, but I guess that whole idea that he's too old, unfortunately, maybe that's hurting him.
Yeah, well, he is pretty old. He's in his late 40s, isn't he?
I think mid-40s, but still, fantastic competitor. I don't think age is the problem. And, man, he can still go on the mic, too.
Yeah, I think his mic work right now is better than his wrestling. Like, I'm more interested in his promos than his matches. He's 46, by the way.
Yeah, mid-40s.
I'm more interested in his promos. I think he's really entertaining. He's a funny guy. Truth TV is good. And even though he lost to The Miz, so Miz wanted to get Miz TV back, and the match was like, oh, if I win, I get my show back, and there's no more Truth TV. But Truth doesn't play by the rules. He thought he had to wrestle Carmella to get a Hell in a Cell title shot, you know? Truth doesn't know what's going on. You could come back out with Truth TV this week on SmackDown. Miz could come out and be like, whoa, there's no more Truth TV. I beat you for that. And he's like, whatever, Miz, I don't care what you say. Dance break. And then they do the little dance break thing. And boom, Truth TV is back. I thought that dance break was fantastic, by the way. Very funny little bit. I love Truth TV, and I loved how Daniel Bryan played off R-Truth. I thought they worked very well together. Bryan is a very versatile performer. He can do anything. He can be funny, he can be serious, he can cut any type of promo, and he can work with anybody. And he was a great guest for Truth TV.
Well, he added to it because he's important right now. And Truth needs someone to be important to make him seem important, too. It's just he's not winning, so Truth doesn't seem that important because he can't win a match.
Yeah. Well.
So why should we care?
But I think, like you said maybe last week on the show, R-Truth is like the third biggest babyface on SmackDown right now.
With Jeff Hardy gone.
With Jeff Hardy gone.
Yeah.
And he is gone.
For now.
He's not on TV.
For now.
He's gone. You got AJ Styles, you got Daniel Bryan, and those are the only two real baby faces on SmackDown. Everybody else is a heel. Except for R-Truth. So,
yeah.
I don't think you can be so quick to dismiss R-Truth and say, oh, that's it, he's going away, they're going to disappear him, because they need him quite badly as far as baby faces go on SmackDown. They have none of them. Is Rusev a babyface?
100%. He's one of the top faces.
Is he? I don't know. Blaming Aiden English for a lot of things. I don't know where this whole thing is going. So Aiden English attacked Rusev last week because he was sick of getting blamed for all the problems in Rusev Day. Rusev Day always losing and Aiden always getting the blame.
It was his fault.
I don't know. It wasn't his fault.
He cost him the matches. He get up on the apron and say Rusev crush. He completely cost him the U.S. title.
Anyway, so Rusev and Lana are in the ring, and Rusev wants to know why Aiden attacked him last week. Aiden shows up, and he said, I'm sick of being blamed, and I'm the reason Rusev Day is popular, and he shows a highlight day of all of Rusev's great moments, and then he shows a video where it seems like Lana's at fault for all their losses, and he blames Lana. And then Lana's like, well, where were you? I was with Rusev when he was really strong. I got him a tank for WrestleMania. When I was Rusev's manager, he was doing great.
He lost that match, too.
Yeah, he lost the match, but she got him a tank. So, that was cool. It's probably the highlight of his WWE career, coming out on that tank at WrestleMania.
Unfortunately, so far.
Yeah. So then Aiden's like, oh, yeah? Well, Rusev, why didn't you ask Lana about that one night in Milwaukee?
And that got the, oh.
And the whole crowd's like, ooh, what happened in Milwaukee? So that's the deal. Lana's like, nothing happened. I don't know what he's talking about. And Rusev's like, what happened in Milwaukee? Did you matchka? Did you pudria? So I don't know. Aiden is saying maybe he and Lana had an encounter, an intimate encounter in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Rusev is suspicious. And Aiden says this Tuesday night on SmackDown he will provide video evidence of the one night between he and Lana in Milwaukee. I think what it is really is Aiden just trying to, being a heel, driving a wedge. He'll show Lana going into a room that he's in. It'll be like, yeah, you don't know what we did behind closed doors there, Rusev. I mean, what's Aiden going to do? Show a sex tape on SmackDown? I mean, that's not going to happen, right? So they're going to, make it seem like maybe Lana was cheating on Rusev with Aiden, but there'll be an explanation, Lana was just going to talk about Rusev Day and how to make it better with Aiden, and that's really what was happening, and they were just planning Rusev Day or whatever. There's nothing going on, and then Rusev will get mad that Aiden was trying to make him and his wife look foolish, and Rusev will attack Aiden, and they'll have a match, and Rusev will win. And that'll be all we hear from Aiden English, and he'll disappear into obscurity, unfortunately. How do you like that, Johnny North? That's exactly how it's going to happen. Now, save this bit. That whole thing I said, I'm going to save this bit, okay? And when Aiden English disappears and everything that I just said happens, we're going to play it again, and I'll say, ha, 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 I told you. I told you what would happen. All right?
Well, in terms of the feud, I could see that going down, but in terms of him just disappearing, being obsolete, deleted, I don't see that happening. I think they see that he has potential. He comes out, he still gets a reaction. You saw that he has the Happy Aiden Day Now t-shirt. They have investment in him.
Sandow had t-shirts too. Damian Sandow had t-shirts. Damian Sandow was more over than Aiden English, and Damian Sandow's no longer in the wrestling business because when he finished being the sidekick to a guy and he lost the match, he was tossed aside and never heard from again.
But he got over, and they weren't expecting that. This was Rusev, and it's like, oh, Rusev got over, so let's put Aiden English in there because we want to get him over.
I don't think so. I don't think so, John. Let's just put him in there because we got nothing else going for them. Oh, they got over. Okay. Cool.
When they did the house show a couple years ago, Aiden was by himself doing promos, singing, and they realized, like, hey, we have something here. We got to get them over. How can we get them more quick? Well, Rusev's already over, so bam, we'll just put them together, and that works. It's kind of how the Miz got over. We'll just put them with all these guys that get over, and then Miz really gets all the heat from all them. This is exactly what they're doing with Aiden English, I think. I can see Aiden English win the feud.
Yeah. Really?
Why? I think they really wanted Aiden English to get over more than Rusev.
I disagree. We'll see what happens, Johnny North. How about Sheamus beating Big E this week? I thought that was a really solid match on SmackDown. I like when those two wrestle.
I'm surprised they said that was the first time Sheamus and Big E ever wrestled on SmackDown.
Was it?
No, that's really important because I'm sure they've wrestled on Raw a bunch of times. And
Yeah.
They've wrestled a bunch of tag matches, but apparently singles, one-on-one on SmackDown, that was like the first time ever. That's a nice little fact, but it doesn't really matter. It was a nice match, but I feel it wasn't their best because they've also wrestled on pay-per-view, and we've seen some really good matches with them. It was good, but it felt actually kind of short compared to the past matches.
It was the match of the night on SmackDown, though. Not a lot of great matches on SmackDown this week. Like, it didn't have much competition, but I thought it was the best match. Ty Dillinger and Shinsuke Nakamura barely really got started. Randy Orton interfering there, causing the disqualification.
Yeah, it's weird what Randy's doing.
Yes, it is weird what Randy's doing. Why does Randy attack Shinsuke Nakamura's opponents and then embark on feuds with them? Like, last time Shinsuke Nakamura was feuding with a guy, it was Jeff Hardy. It's like Randy's stealing everything Shinsuke's trying to do. Like, Shinsuke's on TV, he's feuding with Jeff Hardy. Randy Orton comes back on TV, he attacks Jeff Hardy, Shinsuke's forgotten, Shinsuke's not on TV, Shinsuke's not booked on pay-per-view, he's still the U.S. champion, but, oh well, Randy just took your feud and he's feuding with Jeff Hardy. Shinsuke finally gets back on TV. Hey, he's going to wrestle Ty Dillinger. Where's Ty Dillinger been? Who knows? Does anybody care? Not really. Ty Dillinger comes out. He wrestles Shinsuke a bit. Randy Orton shows up, attacks Ty Dillinger. Beats him up severely. And then Shinsuke just kind of standing there watching it happen. And then when Randy leaves, Shinsuke hit Dillinger with a Kinshasa, and then Shinsuke leaves too. No communication between Shinsuke and Randy. Nothing really going on there. I don't know why the WWE expects us to care about Randy Orton beating up Ty Dillinger. Like, is that a heel thing to do? Because, frankly, no one really cares about Ty Dillinger. He hasn't been built up as a babyface that anybody could care about because he hasn't been on TV in months. I can't remember the last time I saw him on SmackDown. Now, all of a sudden, I'm supposed to care about him? Like, okay, he was backstage with R-Truth a couple times, but the guy's barely been wrestling. Who cares about Ty Dillinger? I don't care about Ty Dillinger. And I don't care if Randy Orton beats him up for a while. Quite frankly, I was bored by the whole thing because, like, it doesn't matter. Like, oh, Randy Orton beats up this jabroni. Randy Orton could beat up any random jabroni, and I wouldn't really care. It's got to be somebody you care about for it to matter. And with Ty Dillinger, unfortunately, does not matter. So it makes you wonder, what's Randy doing? He can't be feuding with Ty Dillinger. That can't be what Randy's doing next, can it? That seems like a major step down after feuding with Jeff Hardy. You're going to go and feud with Ty Dillinger? And if he's not doing that, what the hell's he doing?
Well, yeah, he said it's not Ty Dillinger.
So it's Nakamura?
No, well, that's it. He didn't say who it's going to be. It's very odd. I don't get.
Does Nakamura need to turn babyface here through this Randy thing?
Eventually, it might have to come down to that because...
Well, they're lacking babyfaces, and the Randy Nakamura thing doesn't really make sense because they're both heels.
It's odd. It's really odd. I don't know where they're going with this. But that's also what makes me interested in see what's going to happen next because where the hell are they going with this? This is very weird.
Yeah.
But I also feel maybe they're just waiting for Jeff to come back and they don't know what to do.
No, I hope that's not it. I hope they have a plan. Because it's interesting. It's like, oh, why is Randy doing this? What's the deal with Nakamura? I don't know. It's one of those things you have to wait and see. Maybe they have a plan. Maybe they don't. Like, do they have a plan for Samoa Joe? We saw SmackDown this week. We saw the promo. It was supposed to be a contract signing. Paige is in the ring. AJ Styles is in the ring. Samoa Joe was not in the ring. He shows up on the big screen. He's on his phone showing a live video. He's outside AJ Styles' house. And SmackDown ends with Samoa Joe ringing the doorbell to AJ's house. Do they have a plan? Will we see what happened at AJ's house on SmackDown on Tuesday night, or will we just forget about it and we never know if Joe got into the house, if Wendy Styles hit him with a baseball bat? Like, we have no idea what happened with AJ's family and Samoa Joe, because that's been the whole thing. Samoa Joe, saying things about AJ's family and trying to get into AJ's head and going real personal. And, of course, he shows up to the house and the mailbox says Styles, which is ridiculous because,
so good.
Styles isn't actually his last name. His name is Alan Jones. The mailbox should say Jones, but, whatever. Her name is Wendy Styles, and, she's the phenomenal Wendy Styles, and he's the phenomenal AJ Styles, which is,
But it goes back to the Hulk Hogan thing. Like, the mailbox for Hogan probably says Hogan.
Well, it probably does, but that's, brother stuff. Brother.
Again, this is the WWE universe, so you can play with that. It's fun.
I doubt, like if Big E, I don't think Big E's married, but if he were, I doubt, his wife would be like, whatever, my last name's E, Yeah, Michelle McCool doesn't call herself Michelle Taker.
That's true, yeah.
Stephanie McMahon doesn't go by Stephanie Helmsley.
Well, it was the Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley regime for a while.
Yeah, McMahon-Helmsley was a thing, but that was a gimmick name. She doesn't use it in real life.
That's true, yeah.
Ridiculous. Brie Bella doesn't even call herself Brie Bryan, even though it does sound pretty good. She calls herself Brie Danielson because that's his real name. Brie Bryan is pretty good, though.
Well, she still calls herself Bella as well.
Brie Bella. And Bella is not her real last name either.
But it's kind of like...
It's a gimmick name, though. She's not, they're not calling their daughter Birdie Bella. It's Birdie Danielson. She's got a real last name because she's a real person. She's not a professional wrestler.
Not yet.
Not yet. It could happen. So, yes, I like the Styles mailbox. That's always funny to me. Do you think we find out what Joe did when he got to AJ's house?
It's weird because I feel like we've been down this road before where we thought Joe was talking about something, but we never found out anything. There was no follow-up, so I hope so because it would add something to this, but I also feel like nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, I feel like nothing's going to happen. Do you think Aiden English will actually provide some video evidence?
Oh, he will, but...
It'll be nothing.
That's what I'm worried about.
Ronda Rousey is supposed to wrestle on Raw Monday night against Ruby Riott.
That'll be interesting.
That's cool.
I think they're giving that away too early, but fine, whatever. Cool.
Let's go. Ronda Rousey, 1-on-1. I'm interested in that. And Shawn Michaels is going to appear on Raw Monday to cut a promo again.
And The Undertaker.
They're both going to be there?
And Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens, too.
Oh, that's Monday night?
That's Monday night. It's Big Monday.
Oh, boy. So Bobby Lashley, is going to beat Kevin Owens?
Oh, I expect shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Leo Rush, probably Elias. Maybe John Cena, why not?
Will John Cena be on Raw Monday night?
Be jam-packed Raw if he's on Raw, that's for sure.
He should be, though. It's a go-home show. This is the last Raw before the Super Showdown.
He was in China, though, recently, wasn't he?
And China's a lot closer to Australia than it is to the United States. I think.
It is, but yeah.
All right, Johnny North, enough geography lessons. When can people see you in the ring?
It's going to be October 6th, Saturday night, 7 p.m., 4325 Industrial Boulevard for Drew Onyx's Torture Chamber. I'm wrestling Cable. First time wrestling this guy.
Cable?
Yeah. Never wrestled before. Never seen him wrestle, so this is going to be interesting.
All right. For more on that, follow him on Twitter at North Genesis. Follow him on Instagram at Genesis Johnny North. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ringsidereport.net, youtube.com/ringsidereport, DOTNET. Do us the favor and subscribe. Put a like on our channel. We appreciate it very much. Subscribe on iTunes, on Google Play, wherever you get your podcasts, and, of course, online at WrestlingUncensored.net. That's it. Super Showdown next week. For Johnny North, I'm Dave Simon, and this has been Wrestling Uncensored. Yeah.
Yeah.